cover of Fortune, but first I want to read from the Washington Post. Chicago, fight over clout. This is about the teacher strike. In Chicago, 85% of the roughly 400,000 public school students are either African American or Latino. A similar percentage receives free or reduced price meals, which means these students live at or near the poverty line, $27,214 for a family of three in a typical case. The average public school teacher in Chicago earned almost triple that amount, $76,000 a year, according to the school district. In contract negotiations this year, Chicago Public Schools offered an average total pay increase of 16% over 4 years.
That's
the Chicago Teachers Union, 26,000 strong, rejected the offer and went on strike Monday, sowing chaos among children and parents. No one can say how long this walkout will last, but even if it ends tomorrow, it's already harmed poor minority children upon whose education the future of Chicago and the country depends.
Do these people think, Mika, that it's like 1973 or something? Really, these teachers, do they not get that the environment that they're living in, that they're working in? Do they not get how bad the economy is? How unions have to be more careful than ever on how they look publicly? Could they do anything? This is about as stupid as, and we said it, as Wisconsin unions deciding to help Scott Walker raise millions of dollars and basically create a political machine that can't be beat. What's wrong with these unions? And their leadership are so stupid.
Rahm Emanuel in a very interesting set of circumstances now, taking on the unions, and Mitt Romney jumps in, issuing a statement yesterday attacking the president for what's happening in Chicago, saying, quote, "Teachers unions have too often made plain that their interests conflict with those of our children, and today we are seeing one of the clearest examples yet. I choose to side with the parents and students depending on public schools to give them the skills to succeed, and my plan for education reform will do exactly that. Thank you, Mitt Romney."
So Andy, it seems to me that these union members keep getting sold down the river by their leadership.
Yeah.
You know how many teachers in Chicago are angry this morning because they want to be in class teaching children? It's unbelievable.
It's terrible. And Rahm Emanuel is bitterly opposed to these unions. Paul Ryan and Mitt Romney were praising Rahm Emanuel, then Rahm Emanuel had to come back and said, "Thanks very much, guys. I understand, but this is kind of a political trick that you're pulling. You know, I'm still supporting the president." That's a bit of a sideshow. To get back to your point, it's crazy. Teachers shouldn't strike. I think it's unconscionable that you walk out on a job where you're responsible for the education and welfare of young people. I mean, it sounds Pollyannish, but I'm sorry, don't strike. You know, air traffic controllers, don't strike. Right? Teachers, don't strike.
Well, especially, John Meacham, when you look at the students right now that are being thrown under the bus, some of the poorest children in America, overwhelmingly minority, the children who need desperately to get back into classrooms after a summer off.
We're chipping away at our competitiveness with situations across the country in school systems.
No, it's staggering. And Rahm Emanuel offers them a 16% raise, and they say no.
It does feel as though the strike is not commensurate with the offer or the, as Andy says, the fundamental job. And it's not as though this is some kind of existential issue. It feels, as you said, I was thinking it feels more like 1985, 1973. It feels like a very traditional Manichaean struggle at a time when, because of the economy and because of cultural shifts, we've managed to, in a lot of cases, find ways to negotiate and make deals in a gray area.
You know, Willie, unions are on the run, and I've always said that's not good for the middle class. Unions have helped build out the middle class. Post-war America, you know, we had 33, 34, 35% of American households represented by private sector unions. And when unions do what they did in Wisconsin, fighting a fight that they should have known they were going to lose, and what they're doing here in Chicago, they're just undercutting their own union membership.
Especially with teachers, who we are all
all inherently compelled to like and root for, and we're all grateful for teachers. Like, they are the good guys. The teachers are the good guys. They're just being poorly represented. When you have stories, if you watch WGN or if you read the Chicago Tribune, of single mothers having to miss work for days now, for a second day to pick up their child, and women saying,
and guess what? They don't live in our neighborhoods.
Right.
The moms that are having to miss jobs, it's not like they don't have the luxury that we have to say, oh gosh, can we get somebody to come and help us out here? Maybe we'll.
So here's
they're the people who can least afford this. The moms, the dads, the kids, the people who can least afford this are the ones that are getting penalized by this strike.
People who have hourly jobs who will not be paid because they're not there in the afternoon. People who may, if this goes on too long, may lose their job. Yeah. There are real important issues at stake. The teachers have a right to fight for things like higher pay. If they want to talk about teacher evaluations, that's good. But let's not leave the kids out in the cold. They should have sorted this out over the summer.
And here's what happened during the contract talks. We've heard this before. Rahm Emanuel was trying to get rid of the automatic pay bumps that teachers got for years of service and advanced degrees, and instead he wanted to award raises based on merit, and you know things got ugly from there.
Yeah, isn't it something?
Yeah.
Isn't it something?
What a concept.
Andy, so isn't it something that teachers, not teachers, but teachers unions fight? They have been fighting for years, and they are on the wrong side of history, and they've lost this battle with the public. They've lost the battle that teachers, unions, leaders, for some reason are saying, do not judge us based on how we perform. Judge us for how long we've been sitting in this chair.
Yeah, I mean, it used to be, the whole idea that teachers are bad guys is just, it's insane. But it has come to that. You're right to make the distinction between teachers and teachers' unions. But that gets lost a little bit because the teachers are the ones who aren't there, so people start to turn against the teachers too. It's crazy.
Right, the teachers, so many of these teachers, Mika, want to be in class in Chicago right now. They're disgusted by what their union leadership has done.
All right, we're going to talk about this more. We'll also get to the cover of Fortune magazine at the top of the hour. We'll be right back with much more. Morning Joe.